Okay, what does it mean if the electronic stability control ESC indicator lamp lights up while you're driving? It means that system has been activated. You're leaving your vehicle parked on the road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? Never, if you're away from the vehicle. As far as I'm aware, it's not legal to do that. You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? As you're passing or just after the junction, so you don't make people think you're turning into it. You're driving on an open road in dry weather. What distance should you keep from the vehicle in front? Okay, dry road conditions is a 2 seconds time gap. What should you do when you're approaching a bus that's signalling to move away from a bus stop? Well, the safest thing to do is to wait behind it. So allow it to pull away if it's safe to do so. Signal left to move bus on. Yeah, okay, allow it to pull away if it's safe to do so. Cycle lane marked by a solid white line is in operation. What does this mean for car drivers? Right, any solid white line means you're not allowed to enter it. They mustn't drive along the lane. Yeah, no, okay, they mustn't drive along the lane. So any solid white line means do not cross. Your vehicle has broken down on the motorway. What should you do if you aren't able to get onto the hard shoulder? Switch on your hazard warning lights, definitely. I mean, out of those four, that's definitely the first thing to do, make your car visible to everyone else. If you can't get to a hard shoulder, you don't want to be in harm's way, so repairing it yourself, no. You don't have authority, or it's not safe for you to try and stop the traffic and standing behind your vehicle. You're putting yourself in harm's way doing that as well. Okay, this sign is a warning triangle for a ford, and a ford, for those that don't know it, is a road that passes through a stream or a river, something like that. So water across the road. Oh, sorry, press the wrong button there. This sign means there's a 20-mile-an-hour zone beginning at that sign. So maximum speed limit with traffic calming. 20 cars only, definitely not that. Not minimum speed limit, only 20 cars allowed anymore. Alright, okay, so it's maximum speed limit with traffic calming. You're approaching an unmarked crossroads. How should you deal with the junction? Well, if it's unmarked, that means you've got, four or more, being a crossroad, four or more roads coming into the junction, none of which have priority. So you've all got equal priority, so you should slow down and look both ways. Okay. You want to turn right from a main road into a side road. What should you do just before turning? So turning right from a main road into a side road. Check for traffic overtaking on your right. So I'm doing this one at the end of the day, so I'm probably going to be, I'm a little bit tired. Maybe some pauses while I digest what I've read. You're on the motorway. What should you do if there's a red cross showing on the signs above your lane only? Okay, that means a red cross above your lane only means your lane is closed. So continue in that lane, no. Put onto the hard shoulder, no. Don't continue in that lane. Stop and wait for the instructions to proceed. But if it's just your lane, that means you could switch lanes. So don't continue in that lane. You're going to switch lane to a different one. Okay, this sign means the next junction to your left is a no-through road. So no-through road on the left. And this sign is showing 3 lanes. The left one and the centre one are both open. The right hand one is closing. So right hand lane closed ahead. You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? Do not select a high gear because a high gear goes faster. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. Okay, a low gear allows the car to travel slower, and you get some of what's called engine braking going on, and you will need to use the brakes. You can't go downhill without using the brakes because the car will gain speed. When it says use the brakes carefully, that means basically apply the brakes and then release them to let them cool down, and then maybe apply them again and release them to let them cool down. So don't ride the brake pedal all the way down the hill, because you'll make your brakes overheat, and the hotter they get, the less they work. Oh, didn't check that, did I? You want to park and you see this sign. What should you do on the days and times shown? Right, on the days and times shown, you're going to have to park in a bay and pay for it. So it says meter zone. So park in a bay and pay. There we go. How should you drive in areas with traffic calming measures? Well, definitely at a reduced speed, because that's their aim. So looking at the other answers, yep, at a reduced speed. You're travelling along a motorway. When are you allowed to overtake on the left? Well, you can see well ahead that the hard shoulder is clear. No, we don't use the hard shoulder for that. When you warn drivers behind by signalling left, no. When the traffic in the right hand lane is signalling right, no. When in queues and traffic to your right is moving more slowly than you are. Which sign shows that you're entering a one-way system? Okay, that would be this one, top right hand corner. The other one's no U-turn. This one down bottom left, give way to oncoming traffic, so oncoming traffic has priority over you. And this one bottom right means you have priority over the oncoming traffic. What should you do to reduce the risk of your vehicle catching fire? Keep water levels above maximum. No, we don't do that. We don't keep it above maximum, so set off. Avoid driving with a full tank of fuel. Check out any strong smell of fuel. Use fuel additives. What should you do to reduce the risk of your vehicle catching fire? That's a bit of an unusual one. Okay. We don't keep water levels above the maximum. We mustn't keep anything above the maximum mark. It is a maximum for maximum reason. Okay, avoid driving with a full tank of fuel, or check out any strong smell of fuel. I'm going to have to go for that. There's nothing wrong with driving a full tank of fuel. So check out any strong smell of fuel. Okay, what does this sign mean? Okay, it's brown background, which is tourist attraction. Which in this case is a steam railway, so it's going to be some kind of leisure railway. So, tourist attraction. You're parked in a busy high street. What's the safest way to turn your vehicle around so you can drive in the opposite direction? Okay, if it's busy, I'm not going to be able to do U-turns or three-point turn, or turning roads as they say. Turn around the quiet side road would be good. I'm looking at the other ones. Yeah, okay, turn around to the quiet side road. When should you use your vehicle's horn? I tell you, to alert others of your presence. That's the only legal reason to do it, so none of the others apply. You stop on the hard shoulder of a motorway and use the emergency telephone. Where's the best place to wait for help to arrive? It's usually going to be behind the crash barrier, so not next to the phone, not with your vehicle, not on the hard shoulder, well away from the carriageway. This arm signal. Okay, you can put your arm out straight to signal right, just like a cyclist does. We can't do that for a left turn because it'd be inside the car, no one's going to see it. So this twirling arm means that you intend to turn left. On a vehicle, where would you find a catalytic converter? Okay, that's on your exhaust system. And what it does is convert the harmful gases coming out of the exhaust to non-harmful ones, so it actually cleans the exhaust to a degree. What should you check before you start a journey in foggy weather? Okay, the windows and lights are clean and clear. You want to be visible and you want to be able to see clearly for yourself. Which vehicle will use a blue flashing beacon? Okay, anything that saves human lives will be a flashing blue beacon. So bomb disposal saves human lives, breakdown recovery doesn't, motorway maintenance doesn't, and snowplow doesn't. How should you use anti-lock brakes when you need to stop in emergency? Okay, we just brake promptly and firmly until you've stopped. Any other answers are not the correct ones. So we'll go from that. Okay, what's the purpose of these road markings? Okay, yellow zigzag lines mean keep clear. During the times displayed on the yellow plate at the side of the road, they are so that you can have a clear view of the school gates and where the children are, and the children can have a clear view of the oncoming traffic, so to ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road. What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision while you're driving your car? Stop at the scene of the incident will be the first thing you must do. And this sign means no entry. You're waiting to come out of a side road. Why should you look carefully for motorcycles? Okay, they're usually faster and harder to see. They don't have right of way all the time. It may not be the case. Nothing to do with if it's a police. It doesn't matter whether it's a police motorbike or any other motorbike, member of the public. They're usually faster than cars. Motorcycles can easily be hidden behind obstructions. There we go. Which vehicles should you allow extra room as you overtake them? Well, the most vulnerable one would be bicycle, prone to side winds being pushed into your path, so give them plenty of room. Plus they swerve around drain covers and any wet road markings that are slippery, that kind of thing. What does this sign mean? Right, this means waiting restrictions apply. So if it's got one red stripe through it, that's waiting restrictions apply. You have to make an unexpected journey. You're carrying a 5-year-old child on the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 metres, 4 feet 5 inches tall. How should you seat them if a correct child restraint isn't available? Behind the passenger seat, sharing a seatbelt with an adult, using an adult belt. You've just been overtaken by this motorcyclist. What should you do if the rider cuts in sharply? Keep a safe gap. You're waiting to turn right at the end of a road. What should you do if your view is obstructed by parked vehicles? Let's turn right at the end of the road. What should you do if your view is obstructed by right? Stop and then move forward slowly and carefully for a clear view. Wait for... Okay, that's it. That's fine. Traffic lights, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? Okay, it would have been green, and then green goes out and amber comes on, heading towards red. So amber by itself cannot go, not that, can't go, stop at the stop line. Amber means stop, I'm about to go red. Stop if safe, technically. Where would you see this road marking? Okay, that would be on the edges of a speed hump that's full width across the road. So the warning triangle is on the edge of the hump, so on road humps. What does this sign mean? Humps in the road. What's the main benefit of driving a 4-wheel drive vehicle? Out of all of those, it's going to be improved grip on the road. You're approaching this roundabout. What should you do when a cyclist is keeping to the left while signalling to turn right? Well, if he's suggesting signalling is going to turn right, I'd give them space to do it, so allow them space to turn. How would age affect an older person's driving ability? They'll take longer to react to hazards. So unfortunately, with all of us, the older we get, our reaction times go down. Which is the most vulnerable road user? Out of all of those, the motorcyclist. The others are basically in a protective metal cage. The motorcyclist is not. This sign, because it's going from left to right, is showing a 10% decline. So steep hill downwards. The dual carriageway you're turning right onto has a very narrow central reservation. What should you do? Okay, you can't proceed to the central reservation and wait if the central reservation is very narrow and not wide enough to contain your vehicle. So wait until the road is clear in both directions. Why is it a good idea to plan your journey to avoid busy times? You'll have an easier journey. It certainly won't be more stressful if you're going at a less, if you're not on a busy time. Yeah, okay. You'll have an easier journey. There's been a collision. The motorcyclist is lying injured and unconscious. Unless it's essential, why should you not usually attempt to remove their helmet? Right, you don't know what injuries they've got, whether they've got any neck or spinal injury. So this could result in a more serious injury if you try to remove the crash helmet. You arrive at an incident. There's no danger from fire or further collisions. What's your first priority when attending an unconscious motorcyclist? Okay, check whether they're breathing normally is the main thing. After that you can worry about whether they've got broken bones, bleeding, etc. But yeah, breathing comes first. So check whether they're breathing normally. Okay, done all 50 questions, ending that. 50 out of 50, thank you very much. And I'm going to end that recording. Stop and